Hi, this is David Holmes with the Sunday School lesson for October the 4th, and it's called Trusting in the Midst of Trials. We're going to be reading Mark 4:35 through 5:8 and Mark 6:15 through 20. So the lesson talks about when coping with fear, weakness, loss, or the challenge of sharing our faith with others, we must trust in the Lord. So first we're going to read Mark 4:35 through 41. That day, when evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was, in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat, so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and waves obey him." So this is obviously a familiar story to most of us. The disciples were really mad at Jesus because he was going to sleep while they were in danger of drowning. So they woke him up and they rebuked him. Jesus then calmed the storm, and he got mad right back at them for their lack of faith. And the disciples, even though they had seen Jesus work many miracles already, now really started to grasp his power. And the lesson asks if you have ever been in a situation where you felt like you were in need and felt like God was sleeping. So now we're going to read Mark 5:1 through 8. They went across the lake to the region of the Gerasenes. When Jesus got out of the boat, a man with an impure spirit came from the tombs to meet him. This man lived in the tombs, and no one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain, for he had often been chained hand and foot. But he tore the chains apart and broke the irons on his feet. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Night and day among the tombs and in the hills he would cry out and cut himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and fell on his knees in front of him. He shouted at the top of his voice, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In God's name, don't torture me." For Jesus had said to him, "Come out of this man, you impure spirit." So we don't read the end of the story, but this is the one where Jesus sends the demons into a herd of pigs that are nearby. And the point of the story, the lesson tells us, is that it reminds us that we are no match for the devil, right? But if we recognize our weakness, then help is available. So then we're going to read Mark 5:15 through 17. When they came to Jesus, they saw the man who had been possessed by the legion of demons sitting there, dressed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. Those who had seen it told the people what had happened to the demon-possessed man, and told about the pigs as well. Then the people began to plead with Jesus to leave their region. So this is the aftermath of that story, where the rest of the people in the area had learned about what went on, and they were amazed at what Jesus had done for the man. But they were afraid, and they begged Jesus to leave. And the lesson talks about they didn't want to be disturbed, right? Change was upsetting them. And so rather than listen to Jesus, they just asked him, "Hey, go on your way." They were comfortable. So we have to be careful not to get that way ourselves. So then the last scripture is Mark 5:18 through 20. Jesus did not let him, but said, "Go on to your own people and tell them how much the Lord has done for you and how he has had mercy on you." So the man went away and began to tell in the Decapolis how much Jesus had done for him, and all the people were amazed. So this is still the same man. He came and he was begging Jesus to let him go along with Jesus. And Jesus said, "No, I've got another job for you." Right? So finally, we have somebody responding to Jesus helping them by coming and thanking him and wanting to go with him. But Jesus told him, "I've got a bigger job for you. I want you out spreading the word." So the lesson ends by saying we have that same job, and we have to rely on God's help when doing it.